Well, I'll be on top of my wife and my son up in Shannon. That's what they've got a wee cemetery in Shannon up in Erskine. I don't know if you know it. I know where I'm going anyway. That's it.
Where's that?
Up the breeze. My ashes will be scattered up there. Well, that's where all my good times were had when I was younger, you know. Me and my brothers all run about there. Well, you've got to start someplace and you've got to finish someplace, you know. It's like beginning a job.
And the fade, spring rhododendron, flowering pink and purple.
About 2 years ago now, my wife died, and I used to walk these braes with her. So I'm just up this morning reminiscing. You lose your loved ones in very unexpected circumstances.
Oh, it was awful hard. He took his own life, you know.
And all of a sudden, the world that you knew has just gone forever.
I've been through that. Yeah, I had a little girl. She was 2 years old, so...
I lost my twin brother to it.
I'm still dealing with it now, so... Yeah. 'Cause I don't really let anybody else see it, so... It's a personal thing.
I lost 2 sons. Everybody deals with grief in different ways. I get through it with being cheery and smiling and happy.
It took me 4 years to get over my son, but I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody else. I'm still grieving inside, but I'll not let it show. They don't want to discuss it, you know. It never leaves your head, put it that way, but you don't talk about it too much, you know. Just personal feelings.
You've just got to go on with it, you know what I mean? Life goes on. You've just got to go on with it.
A phrase I used to hate was people saying, well, you just have to get on with it. Well, sorry, you've had something very major and tragic has happened in your life. You're just not in a position to get on with it. You have to recover, you have to grieve. It's a process that you have to go through. There's nothing to be hidden about it. Or it's embarrassing to friends. Well, I would say they were poor friends who were embarrassed by that. And I think, and I'm still going through that process, I just hope that at some point you accept it or come to terms with it. Although I'm not sure I even know the meaning of what that is. There should be more awareness of it.
Grief.
I think when someone dies and you're upset about it because they meant something to you.
It's just like an empty space where someone was, like, in your heart. I don't know how to describe it though. Kind of hard to describe that.
Everybody has their own way in grieving for different people.
And now they're gone. You don't have them anymore.
It's just a feeling inside you, you know. You just feeling the loss as if your arm cut off, you know. It's your best mate, so you miss him that much, you know. It'll take a long while to get over it, you know.
Months, years.
Especially when you're out working and you know he was with you at the time, you know. It's just one of those feelings.
The colour in the flowers begins to fade on Midsummer's Day. Sometimes
people are scared of death and dying. They don't want to. So they don't talk about it because they think it's a dark and dull thing. A guy that's a skeleton with a big black robe and a blooming pitchfork type thing.
I mean, you gotta get used to that. It's all around us.
Don't think of something that's going to happen tomorrow. If it's not happening now, don't think about it.
I'm too young to be thinking about that yet.
You know, it must be just something that everyone's afraid of. I can know, I'm no fear of dying whatsoever. I know what I have to do it.
Because I'm not planning on keeling over anytime soon.
I think everyone's just scared of what happens after you die. And when we were little, we lived in Wick. As far as we were told, if you were dead, you're in the ground, the maggots eat you, you're dead. Other little kids didn't really want that. They want to know, like,
that their mum and dad are going to
and
go to heaven.
Yeah, in heaven.
It's the end. There's nothing after it, some would believe, but it's just it's quite a taboo subject, I suppose.
We're afraid of it.
It's a dark secret, isn't it? They're afraid of death.
Because of the finality of death, there is no comeback.
Like me, I just sort of see death as in once you're gone, you don't come back.
So, unless you're a miracle or something. Could be like Jesus there, come back.
Really, the only part that I really believe in is the fact that if you have someone that's really, really close to you, they're always going to live on in you, and you can always keep their memory alive.
I will be using hospice at some point because I've got cancer. I haven't actually told very many people because people don't like to know.
Well, the hospice is there to look after you for the end of that, isn't it? And the hospital is there to repair you.
I just say I'm having treatment and I'm fine. Because I don't want them to treat me any differently.
I know the hospital's well because I've been repaired a few times.
It's not an easy thing to think about. A lot of people don't want even to talk about the C word, as they say.
My dad had cancer and nearly lost him, and I've lost my cousins and everything from like drug abuse and cancer and all.
But I think it's something that people have to face because it's more and more common, and somebody in their family is going to come across it at some point, and they're going to have to know how to handle it. Not for themselves, but to handle it for other people.
It's a horrible subject, really. I mean, the past year I've lost my nan, I've lost my auntie, I've lost my other nan.
I can see everything being in gold, including my casket.
You don't want to be thinking about things like that because, you've got things like my boy now. You just don't think about it, You just think you're going to live for a long time.
Let me think. It's going to have a lot of music, I know that.
My boy.
Amazed by Lone Star. Trying to think.
Eminem and...
When you're dead, you're dead. No one can do anything about it. Might as well have a party and celebrate it. That's how I see it.
I think there'd be a lot of tears at my funeral. Yeah, what about yours?
It would be epic. Just like pure epicness.
I'd want it to be a joyful occasion. I'd want it to be a party. I'd rather it be happy so that people would remember me for being happy.
Colourful clothes.
Remember this guy? He had one amazing party on his funeral.
Well, hopefully some people turn up.
Loud music.
Pipe band, hopefully. Invite me to the next life.
Well, mine was I'll be getting up to the crematorium. Well, I'll be getting burnt there, and then I'll be taken up to Dorney and scattered there. One of the music they're playing is the Old Hippie. I've been called the Old Hippie for years, but it'll be humanist mine too. It's definitely humanist.
Traditionally, people of Irish Catholic backgrounds held a wake. Although there was grief and sorrow and mourning, it was like seeing you on your way. It's very old-fashioned. I think it had its values. People talked, and the whole process of death was less cold, less clinical, less empty. What was the old poem, in the midst of life we are in death? Yeah, I think we now live in I think we have sanitised death to a great extent, and I think that's a mistake. Death is with us. It's around us, and we don't know when.
Our health is worth more than anything.
I'm off to Canada tomorrow, and I was kind of reminiscent as I was,
All the best.
All the best.
Thank you, good to meet you.
Have a nice day.
And you. Have a nice life.
Yes.
No more.
Goodbye.
Start anew. It's never too late to start anew.